Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like you weren't good enough? You're not alone. Self-esteem is not something you're just born with. It's something you can build and improve over time. In today's video, we're diving deep into the psychology of self-esteem and revealing practical, research-backed strategies to feel more confident and empowered. Stick around until the end, because we'll share simple but powerful steps that anyone can apply. So if you're ready to transform your self-esteem and stop feeling stuck, hit that like button, and let's get started. Before we jump into the how-tos of boosting your self-esteem, let's take a moment to really understand what we're talking about. Self-esteem is a term we hear often, but do we truly grasp its significance? What is self-esteem exactly? It's more than just feeling good about yourself on a surface level. It's a deeper, more profound sense of self-worth. It's about the core beliefs you hold about your worthiness as a human being. These beliefs shape how you interact with the world and how you perceive your place in it. Think of it like this. Self-esteem is the way you view yourself when no one else is around. It's your internal dialogue, the narrative you tell yourself about who you are. It's the quiet voice inside your head that tells you whether you're capable, lovable, and deserving of good things. This voice can be nurturing or critical, depending on your experiences. And here's the thing, that voice is shaped by our experiences, our relationships, and the messages we've received throughout our lives. These influences can be both positive and negative. Sometimes, those messages are positive and affirming, but other times, they can be critical, judgmental, and downright unkind. These negative messages can be particularly damaging, and when we hear those negative messages enough, they can start to take root in our hearts and minds. They become the lens through which we see ourselves. We start to believe them. These negative beliefs can become self-fulfilling prophecies, limiting our potential and happiness. But here's the good news. Just because we've internalized those negative messages doesn't mean they're true. We have the power to change our internal dialogue. We have the power to challenge those beliefs, to rewrite those old scripts, and to cultivate a deeper sense of self-worth. This process takes time and effort, but it's entirely possible. Psychologists define self-esteem as a reflective process, how you evaluate yourself. This evaluation can change as you grow and learn. And guess what? It's not fixed. Self-esteem is dynamic, which means you can change how you feel about yourself over time. It's dynamic, which means you can change how you feel about yourself. This is empowering because it means you have control over your self-esteem. But why is it so important? Well, research shows that self-esteem is incredibly powerful. It influences almost every aspect of our lives. It's linked to better mental health, healthier relationships, and even higher success in work and life. High self-esteem can lead to a more fulfilling and happier life. Think about a time when you felt really proud of yourself. What was happening? How did it make you feel? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about moments of empowerment. Sharing your experiences can inspire others and help build a supportive community. Now, let's talk about low self-esteem. It's something many of us experience, but it doesn't define who you are. It's not a life sentence, it's simply a signal, a sign that we need to pay attention to the stories we're telling ourselves and the beliefs we're holding on to. Psychologist Nathaniel Branden says that low self-esteem is a feeling of unworthiness or not measuring up. It's that nagging feeling that we're not good enough, smart enough, or lovable enough. And you know what? Those feelings are often rooted in our past experiences. It can result from past experiences like childhood trauma, bullying, or criticism, or even from negative self-talk. Maybe we had a parent who constantly criticized us, or maybe we were bullied in school. Whatever the case may be, those experiences can leave lasting scars on our sense of self. And here's the thing about those scars. They can become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you believe you're not good enough, you might avoid opportunities or put yourself down, which in turn reinforces that belief. Has there ever been a time when you've let self-doubt hold you back from something amazing? Share your story in the comments. Let's support each other on the path to confidence. So, how can we break free from this cycle of self-doubt? It's a question that many of us grapple with daily. The first step is to challenge your negative thoughts. This isn't always easy, but it's crucial. We need to learn to recognize those negative thought patterns, to question their validity, and to understand where they come from. Once we identify these thoughts, we can start to replace them with more supportive, empowering beliefs. This takes practice and patience. Cognitive behavioral therapy teaches us that our thoughts shape our emotions and behaviors. This means that by changing our thoughts, we can change how we feel and act. It's a powerful reminder that we're not just passive recipients of our thoughts. We have the power to choose which thoughts we want to focus on and nurture. We have the power to choose which thoughts we want to focus on and which thoughts we want to let go of. This is a form of mental decluttering. Letting go of negative thoughts can be liberating. Imagine releasing a balloon into the sky, watching it drift away. If you have a negative thought like, "I'm not good enough," you need to challenge it. Don't accept it at face value. Challenge it by asking yourself why you feel this way. What evidence do you have to support this thought? Don't let it just camp out in your mind, wreaking havoc on your self-esteem. Instead, confront it head-on. Instead, get curious about it. Curiosity can be a powerful tool in dismantling negative thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts, or is it just a feeling? Feelings can be misleading. Sometimes our thoughts feel so real, so true, that we forget to question them. But questioning is essential. Sometimes our thoughts feel so real, so true, that we forget to question them. But questioning is essential. But often, when we take a closer look, we realize that those thoughts are based on old stories, on assumptions, or on fears that may or may not be grounded in reality. But often, when we take a closer look, we realize that those thoughts are based on old stories, on assumptions, or on fears that may or may not be grounded in reality. We realize that those thoughts are based on old stories, on assumptions, or on fears that may or may not be grounded in reality. What evidence do I have that contradicts this thought? Often you'll find that the evidence against it is stronger. What evidence do I have that contradicts this thought? Often you'll find that the evidence against it is stronger. If you're telling yourself you're not good enough, what evidence do you have that suggests otherwise? Look for the positives. What evidence do you have that suggests otherwise? Look for the positives. What have you achieved? What are your strengths? What would I say to a friend who had this thought? We're often much kinder to our friends than we are to ourselves. We're often much kinder to our friends than we are to ourselves. Try to extend that same kindness to yourself. Try this out. Next time a negative thought creeps in, pause and ask yourself these questions. Reflect on your answers. Pause and ask yourself these questions. Reflect on your answers. This practice can help you build a more positive mindset over time. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Your journey can inspire others. Let's talk about one of the most powerful tools we have for boosting our self-esteem, self-compassion. This practice can transform the way we view ourselves and our experiences. It's not about letting ourselves off the hook or ignoring our mistakes. Instead, it's about acknowledging them without harsh judgment. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and care that we would offer to a loved one who is struggling. Imagine the warmth and support you would give to a friend in need. According to psychologist Kristen Neff, self-compassion is treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you'd offer a friend in distress. This means being gentle with yourself during tough times. It's about recognizing that we're all human, that we all make mistakes, and that we all deserve love and compassion, especially from ourselves. This recognition can be incredibly liberating. We're often our own harshest critics, but we need to break that pattern. Self-compassion helps us to stop the cycle of self-criticism and replace it with self-care. We wouldn't dream of talking to our friends the way we sometimes talk to ourselves. We need to change our inner dialogue to be more supportive and kind. We wouldn't berate them for their mistakes, call them names, or tell them they're not good enough. So why do we do it to ourselves? It's time to change that narrative. Self-compassion means accepting your imperfections and treating yourself with care, even when you fail. It's about being your own best friend. It means acknowledging that you're doing the best you can, even when the best you can isn't perfect. This acceptance can lead to greater peace and resilience. Research shows that people who practice self-compassion experience less anxiety and higher resilience. They are better equipped to handle life's challenges. How would you treat a friend who is struggling with their confidence? You'd likely offer them words of encouragement and support. Now, how can you extend that same kindness to yourself? Share your thoughts below. Remember, self-compassion is a journey, and every step you take is a step towards a healthier, happier you. Set small, achievable goals. When it comes to improving self-esteem, setting goals and achieving them is a great way to build confidence. It's about taking action, proving to ourselves that we're capable, and celebrating our successes along the way. Psychologist Albert Bandura introduced the idea of self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to accomplish tasks. Small wins, no matter how minor they seem, can significantly improve your self-esteem. They give us a sense of accomplishment, boost our confidence, and motivate us to keep going. Start with something simple. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Did you finish a book? Celebrate it. Did you go for a walk every day this week? That's progress. What's one small goal you can set for yourself this week? Let's talk about it in the comments. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people. You know, the kind of people who lift you up, believe in you, and make you feel good about yourself. It's easy to fall into negative thinking when we're surrounded by negativity. Our energy is contagious, and if we're constantly surrounded by people who are critical, judgmental, or draining, it's going to take a toll on our self-esteem. Research shows that our self-esteem is often shaped by the people we interact with. Think about it. Who are the people you spend the most time with? Do they make you feel good about yourself? Do they support your dreams and encourage your growth? If you're around people who lift you up, you're more likely to have a positive self-image. Seek out friends or mentors who encourage your growth, celebrate your successes, and offer constructive feedback. It's essential to set boundaries with those who constantly criticize or bring you down. Think about someone in your life who makes you feel good about yourself. Let's take a moment to appreciate them in the comments. We've covered a lot today, but remember, improving your self-esteem is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and self-love. And like any journey, it's going to have its ups and downs. There will be days when you feel confident and unstoppable, and there will be days when you feel like you're back to square one. The important thing is to keep going, to keep practicing those self-compassion muscles, and to keep reminding yourself that you are worthy of love and belonging just as you are. Thank you so much for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more